Hi guys, it's Folake and a really quick video today about how to get unstuck, because this is something that I think a few of us have been feeling at one point or the other. That feeling of feeling stuck and not knowing where to go next. So I shared this with somebody today and I thought I would do it as a quick video as well. And I want it to be a really quick video, so I'll just get straight to the point. I think that when you're feeling stuck, the first thing to do is to actually stop and identify why you feel stuck. Because if you don't know exactly why you're feeling stuck, then you don't know how to get unstuck. So in my personal experience, I can always link it to 3 different reasons why I'm feeling stuck at a certain time. And the first is either perhaps I feel overwhelmed with the amount of things that I have to do. Because when you feel overwhelmed and you have lots of things to do, sometimes that can make you actually not do anything because you don't know where to start and you just, I guess, overwhelmed. And that can make you feel stuck in your tracks. The other reason I think sometimes we get stuck is maybe when we are desperate for something to happen. So, for example, you've just started a business and you're desperate for the business to get off ground, for you to get clients, or there's something happening in your personal life and you're just desperate for something, to change. So when we're desperate sometimes for a result, we can feel that things are not moving as quick as we want them to, and we can feel that, we feel a bit stuck. And then the third reason sometimes I think we can feel stuck is if we feel that we lack motivation. So a lack of motivation to do stuff, obviously you're going to feel stuck because you don't have the motivation to do it or to do anything. So depending on what the reasons of your stickiness is, then you know what to do about it. So I have tips for each one of these reasons for getting stuck and how to get unstuck. So let's start with, let's say you feel, the first one I spoke about was feeling overwhelmed with the amount of things that you have to do. And I mean, sometimes, I feel overwhelmed, especially when you're running a business and everything is up to you. Sometimes the feeling of overwhelm can make you get stuck in your tracks. So when I'm feeling overwhelmed, really, the first thing I need to do is to realize that actually this feeling of stickiness is as a result of anxiety. And I think as soon as you're able to label your feeling, what happens is it sort of breaks down that energetic feel of things not moving. And I think this happens in any case, if you're feeling stuck, is to first of all identify why you're feeling this way, and then to just feel into it first of all before you rush and try and solve it. So with overwhelm, if I know the reason I feel stuck is because actually I have so many things to do, my to-do list is just too much. As soon as I realize that, and I realize actually it's anxiety that's making me feel this way, then I'm like, okay, it's like I've put a label to it. I know that I'm a little bit anxious, and I just need to just stop a little and just let things happen gradually. So it's more of a patient thing. It's not like you have to be patient with this process. The other one is if you think actually your stickiness is to do with desperation to make something happen, like you anxious to make something happen, but nothing is happening. What I normally do with this is I make a list of so many things, and I have like a list of so many of these tools. I call it my template list. When you can do this when you're feeling stuck, or you can do it even when you're in a really good mood. But the point is, when you make this list, you should be in a space where, somewhere where it's quiet, somewhere that you're really in touch with yourself, and that's whatever is coming from the heart. And then you make a list of, like, you can start with, I have my here, so I have things like 10 ways I can make XX amount of money in a month, in this month or this week. I have a list for 10 ways I can take care of myself a little bit more. I have a list of 10 ways I can bring fun into my business. I have a list for 10 ways that I can tap into a state of exquisite beauty. So, my list goes on, seriously. But the point is, so you make all this list and you get loads of ideas onto your list. When you're feeling stuck, you go back to this list and it shows you actually whatever stickiness that you're going through, there is a way out of it. And then you can just take 3 things out of your 10 ways or out of your 20 ways, and you can use that as your action point, as like the 3 things that you focus on. So if I feel like, well, this month in business, I have been feeling like, things are not moving. I feel a little bit like not quite right. And I know I need to have a little bit more fun. I would go into my list and I have a list of 10 ways I can bring more fun into my business. And then I'll just choose 3 things. And I'm like, okay, this month I'm going to focus on these 3 things. And I know that's going to bring like a fun element back into the business. So the list making thing, I call it like my template. I think everybody should do it. Like, you should just write like 10 ways of doing this, and 20 ways I can do this, and 5 ways I can, treat myself better. You can do anything. And then you always go back to that list, and when you need it, you take 3 things out. I always even tell the people I work with to make a list of like 10 things that makes them happy, and then try and do 3 of those things every single day as a practice. And I've always done this, and I think that, I'm sure you guys have heard me say this, like, happiness is a practice. You practice it every day, and before you know it, it's a long strings of like pearls. We have to continue to practice these things. So the last thing I had was, if you're feeling stuck because you lack motivation, sometimes we can just don't have the motivation to do stuff. That happens to everybody. What I think helps with this is just to change the energy around you, to get the energy moving. And this is as simply as like, forcing yourself to go for a run. I know, like, who runs? I run, but go for a run. Things like yoga. I think anything that changes the energy around you is going to like help you bring the motivation back, because really it's just your energetic vibration is feeling a little bit sticky, and you just want to like shake that a little bit up so that you can move up in vibration, and then you can start to attract those things that you have as your intention. And as you know, like attracts like, and if everything is energetic, you can really work with energy here. So one of the things that I say to my clients, and I do myself, is also, it might sound a little bit like, a little bit weird for some people, but it's also about like working with your chakras and unblocking them and making sure that energy is moving within your internal system, which is like, through your chakras. So things like yoga help for that. So I think like if at the moment you're feeling like you don't have motivation to do anything, I would say just focus on the physical, your energetic state, and just get that moving. Physical activities like going to the park, walking. The other thing that works for me very well is actually dance, and I'm going dancing tonight. So like, just dancing and like, get that energy moving. So yeah, if you feel that you don't have motivation, just break that up. Break that up with like something fun, go for a walk, go dance, do yoga, and that will put you in a different vibration. And then you feel that all the ideas are coming back, and also you start to attract the things that you actually want. So I want to keep this short. That's basically it. Just to recap, if you're really feeling stuck at this moment, it's okay. A lot of things are happening. It's the holiday season. Just take time to really feel this. Like, don't feel that you have to rush and fix it. There's nothing to fix. You're feeling this way for a certain reason. Feel it. And then when you feel into it, try and identify the reason exactly why you're feeling this way. Why are you feeling sticky? Why are you feeling stuck in this situation? And for me, it always comes down to 3 different things. Either that I feel overwhelmed with the amount of things that I have to do, or either, I'm desperate to get results for certain things. So then it's like, I feel like nothing is happening. And thirdly, it's like lack of motivation. Sometimes we're just like, we just can't be bothered, and we're like, we just, no motivation comes. And then when you know why exactly you feel this way, then you can find a solution for it. The point is not to stay in that not to stay in that stickiness for too long, and try and move the energy around it, so that you can get going again. So it's Folake B, and if you'd like to connect with me, I am on Twitter, I am on Instagram, Facebook. Just use the username Folake B.